Good afternoon at Monin Park in Boston, Massachusetts. It is baseball action here on the Beacons Broadcast Network presented by LEC TV. Today, the Beaks are at home and they are hosting the Babson College Beavers. And good afternoon once again. My name is Joe Braverman bringing you the action. Beacons coming in at 21-13 overall. 19-12 with a 7-3 conference record. The Beavers are at 21-13 with a 10-4 NUMAC conference record. Taking the mound and the field are the Beaks. Let's get you the starting lineup for Babson College. Leading it off is number 2, Tanner Santos. He will be at second base, followed by Chris Basile at first. Brant Savage is the number 3 man over at third. Michael O'Brien's the catcher and the cleanup man batting fourth. Jackson Kelly's in left, batting fifth. And the sixth spot is the right fielder, Ryan Hosdovic, followed by the DH, Cole Collins, Patrick Manning in center, and the number 9 man, Jack Julian at shortstop. The starting pitcher for the Beaks is wearing number 26 in the white and blue. That would be Ethan Hunt, the senior from Newington, Connecticut, making his 9th appearance and his 3rd start on the year. He is 0-1 with a 6.30 ERA. He's got 15 strikeouts and 13 walks over 20 innings. So the leadoff man, Santos, is making his way to the plate. As Santos, the lefty, will make his way up. This is going to be a very lefty-dominant lineup, you got to believe. As Hunt gets set on his first delivery to Santos. And it is high for ball one. We are underway. This is the last non-conference game for the Beavers. They're wrapping up their regular season. They've got 3 games. As that one hits him, Santos gets hit by the pitch. Like a fastball that tailed inside. He'll make his way over to first. So early trouble on here for the Beaks. Now Chris Basile makes his way up. Basile, 339 hitter, 1 home run, 23 runs batted in 29 games and 112 at-bats. Outside, ball 1. Beacons coming off getting swept in a doubleheader by Southern Maine. Breaking ball misses inside. So 4 straight pitches here for Hunt, all of them balls, has yet to find the strike zone. And throwback to first. Easily in there is Santos. Basile, Babson coming off a 6-5 win over Clark yesterday. Basile had a great game in that one. He was 3 of 5 with a triple, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. That gets in there for a strike at the top of the zone. First strike thrown on the day by Hunt. And a throwback to first. And again, Santos is in there safely. Santos has 21 stolen bases on the year. He's only been caught twice. So obviously the scouting report says to watch out for him. And that's ripped into right field through the hole for a base hit. Santos is going to hold up at second. The throw gets into Zerilli over at short. And it's back-to-back hits. Back-to-back base runners, I should say, for the Beavers. Now Brant Savage, the third baseman, is up to bat. Savage, a 338 hitter, 10 home runs, 42 runs batted in. One just misses. Corliss behind the plate tried to frame it. Fielding positions look like this. From first to third for the Beaks, you got Burris, Blake, Zerilli Jr., and Metzdorf. From right to left, you have Gavea, Parker, and Levitt. And Greg Corliss doing the catching for Hunt. That one is low. 2-0 now the count. Hunt in some early trouble. And now time is called, meeting at the mound, as Hunt is in some early trouble. Only thrown 1 strike so far. Seven pitches thrown, 6 balls, 1 strike. And in some early trouble. If Ethan Hunt can try and get out of this one. Savage, with the way the weather is and the wind blowing a little bit from right to left, that could favor Savage, who's a pull hitter. 2-0 from Hunt. Low for ball 3. Count now 3-0. How long of a leash will Hunt get if he's in trouble already? Will Savage have the 3-0 green light? And he's taking outside for ball 4. So 3 base runners to start the afternoon here for Babson. And now the cleanup man, Michael O'Brien, makes his way up. Hunt gets it in there for a strike on a fastball. Santos got hit by a pitch. He's over at third. Basile singled into right. He's at second. Savage just drew the walk. He's at first. Breaking ball. Gets in there. 0-2 now the count to O'Brien, the catcher. O'Brien, a .364 hitter. No home runs, 14 runs batted in. Good block there by Corliss on a pitch outside and in the dirt. One and two. Hunt on the set. And the delivery. Just missing. Count now even, 2-2. Trying to mix up those pitches, going fastball to slider. Two swing and a miss, strike 3. There's the first out of the inning. As it was a slider that tailed outside. O'Brien down by way of the K. Bases are still loaded, though. So much more work to do here for Hunt on the mound. This Jackson Kelly, left fielder up. And he has to duck out of the way of that one. Kelly on the year only hitting .222. He had 12 hits and 54 at-bats. Outside ball 2. And it does look like there is an arm warming in the Beacons bullpen. Good frame there by Corliss. That gets in there. 2-1. You have to wonder if this might be a bullpen game, as that one's fouled straight back. Count even at 2. Wondering if it was the plan all along for Hunt to maybe go an inning or 2, then leave it up to the rest of the bullpen. We'll wait and see. 2-2. Breaking ball. Just missing, and the count goes full. Hunt's got to throw a strike here. No place for Kelly to go. Hunt taking a long time, and he's calling timeout. And it misses for ball 4. Went for the slider. The run will score Santos. And it's an early 1-0 hole. So Basile goes to third, Savage to second. Kelly with some great plate discipline. And now the lefty makes his way up. Hosdovic. And that's towards the sliding. Zerilli Jr. on to second for 1. On to first. Not in time. The run will score. And it's 2-0, but there is 2 outs in the inning. So Kelly thrown out at second. Basile comes in to score. Savage over to third. Now the runners are on the corner. 6-4 fielder's choice. Now Corliss giving the signals for the designated hitter Collins. Well, Collins also hitting at 222. Throw back to first. And easily in there is Hosdovic. That one's in there for a strike. On Collins, the DH. Collins, the first-year player from Libertyville, Illinois. The 11th game for Collins. That one's outside. Got 4 hits and 18 at-bats. Walked 6 times, struck out 7. 2-0 early on. Babson on top. Throw over to first, in there safely. Hosdovic. Ryan Hosdovic, the first year. That one's fouled back. Has stolen 1 base and been caught 1 time. One and 2 the count on the DH. 2 outs in the inning. Inside. Collins had the idea of swinging, but deciding not to go. Here's the 2-2. Over to the right side. Blake is there. Throw over to first in time. And the side is retired, but Babson picks up 2 runs in the inning. So the Beacons will try to get going with things. Let's take a look at a couple of moments from that inning. Of course, it was a tough inning for Hunt. First 3 base runners were allowed. And now the Beavers will take the field. Let's give you the starting 9 for UMass Boston. Breon Parker leads it off. He's in center field. He's had a tremendous week, which we'll dive into a little bit later. Justin Gavea is the right fielder batting second. Drew Metzdorf over at third will bat third. Aiden Blake is the cleanup man bat in second base. Boston Burris bats fifth at first. Craig Corliss, the catcher, is sixth. Gianni Zerilli Jr. is the shortstop batting seventh. Mariano Jimenez is the DH today. And Luke Levitt rounds things out, batting ninth. The starting pitcher for Babson College is James Clark. First-year man, 6'2", 215 pounds, from Southborough, Massachusetts. Went to Algonquin Regional High School. That's a tremendous place in my heart. 7 appearances on the year. He's made 3 starts. He's 0-1 with an even 9 ERA. He's got 12 strikeouts and 9 walks over 17 innings. So we'll see how the Beacons can respond here, as it was a very rough first inning there for Ethan Hunt. As mentioned, first 3 batters reached, walked in a run, and a fielder's choice brought in another run. See what the youngster Clark can do, the righty. Seen so far here in warm-ups, seen a fastball, seen a slider, seen a curve. And he's got a really quick two-seamer. It's a beautiful day here at Monin Park. Morning started off overcast, but the sun has broken out. Temps right now in the low 50s. Our umpires for today, by the way, are at home plate is Mike Hinajosu, and our base umpire is Charles Furlong. So Breon Parker is going to start things off. You see his batting numbers. It's been his fielding that's made all the headlines over the past week or so. As the first pitch from Clark is outside for ball 1. Parker, a 303 hitter. No runs, 20 runs batted in, 36 hits, and 119 at-bats. But it's been Parker's fielding out in center that's gotten him even national recognition. Made SportsCenter's top 10 list with his grab against Southern Maine on Saturday. That's in there for a strike. Where it was on the top play, it was number 2 on the list. And he made another brilliant grab where he went through the fence. That one swung on and missed. Count now 2-2 for Parker. Swing and a miss. Down goes Parker for out number 1 in the inning. Now Justin Gavea makes his way up. He's the number 2 man today. Freshman outfielder from Dartmouth, Mass. First pitch misses for ball 1. Gavea, 303 hitter as well. 1 home run, 11 runs batted in. Doubleheader against Southern Maine. He really struggled, as he was a combined in the doubleheader 0 for 9 with 3 strikeouts. That's lifted to the opposite field in left, and it's going to be tail foul, though. The count will move to 1-2. Yeah, Beacon struggled offensively in both doubleheader games against Southern Maine last Saturday. Lost game 1, 3-1, and then lost game 2, 9-3. We're supposed to play Plymouth State yesterday, but that was postponed to tomorrow. One and two remains the count on Gavea. Clark got in opening strikeout. That one's fouled back and out of play. Seen some really good baseball products from the Central Mass area. More specifically. Oh, and Clark slips on that delivery. He's okay. We'll go down for a ball. There's a little bit of loose dirt out there. Of course, we're on a turf here in Monin Park. The pitcher's mound is the only thing that's got the real dirt. 2-2 from Clark. That's a high pop-up into left center. Chasing after it, and it's going to go right to Kelly in left. And that's out number 2. On your scorebook, that's an F7. Maybe keep an eye on that for Clark. Looks like it was just a standard slip. Seems to be moving completely fine out there. Drew Metzdorf. Now it's a bat, 345 hitter, 4 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Got 38 hits on the year, with 20 of them being extra base hits. Trying to get some 2-out magic going here. And he looks at ball 1. Clark now at 13 pitches. Meanwhile, Hunt had to throw 27 in that top of the first. Both pitchers working a little bit harder than they probably expected to in the first inning. Swing and a miss. Like a changeup on that one. 2-2 now, the count to Metzdorf. Babson going for the clean 1-2-3 inning after taking that 2-0 lead. And that's well outside with the fastball. Count is full. Metzdorf awaits the 3-2 inside for ball 4. Metzdorf able to draw the walk. That is the 18th walk that Metzdorf has drawn on the year. Now the chance for the cleanup man, Aiden Blake. Ranks top 10 right now in batting average among conference players. The team leader at 373. He swings and misses at the first pitch. Blake with 44 hits on the year. And Metzdorf trying to hit and run, but that one's fouled away. Gonna say Blake with 44 hits. Extra base hits are at 19. 5 home runs, 34 RBIs. A 644 slugging percentage. On base percentage of about 45%. Metzdorf going again, and that's fouled off. Count remains at 0-2. Being very aggressive on the hit and runs. Blake still chasing an 0-2. Those 2 games, he was combined 1 for 8 with a double and 3 strikeouts. That's fouled off. Good plate discipline. A strikeout, a fly out, and a walk so far here in this bottom of the first. Metzdorf going again, and that's chopped on the third base side, but a foul ball, just foul. Looked like it was going over the bag, but tailed off to the left just slightly. Interesting. Very aggressive on the base pass. Metzdorf has gone about 3 times so far. He has 20 stolen bases on the year. He's 20 of 23 here in 2023. Just missing outside with the fastball. Down now to 1-2. Metzdorf going again, and that one's in the dirt. Metzdorf is in there safely. Standing up, no throw. So finally it pays off. Metzdorf gets himself over to second. The 4th time. And he's been aggressive over there. The second baseman Santos shadowing him. Fouled again over to the left side. Kind of an unexpected 2-out rally here. as Metzdorf picked up his 21st stolen base. I think he would have been in there safely, even if there was a throw. Here's the 2-2. That one's hit towards the right side, trying to battle the sun. And a good play there by Ozdovich. Had to shield his glove. But he made the play regardless, and that ends it. So the 2-out base runner does no damage. And heading to the top of the second, it is still 2-0 Beavers. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back with the top of the second. It's Manning, Julian, top of the order, due up for Babson.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes.
Top of the second here at Monin Park. 2-0 Babson back up to bat. Ethan Hunt back on the mound. He'll deal with Patrick Manning to start things off. He's the number 8 man today. The senior outfielder from Weymouth, Mass. Hunt struggled in that first inning. Through 27 pitches. Well, he walked in a run. He allowed 1 hit. Breaking ball just missing. 1-1 now the count to Manning. Babson has played a very tight schedule. This is their 3rd game in 3 days. They have just been playing nonstop. That one grounded foul past the first base side. 1-2 the count. Manning did go 1 for 4 with a double and a run yesterday. And the Babson win over Clark. It was a thrilling game. They got 3 runs in the 8th inning. Trailed entering that inning 5-3. Ended up winning that game 6-5. Fastball outside. 2-2 now. To the center fielder. Manning a .222 hitter. Sorry, 196. Count goes to full. This is a Babson team that has 69 stolen bases total on the year. They've been caught a total of 15 times. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming up here from Hunt. Manning. There still is an arm warming in the bullpen for UMass Boston. It is a righty. Swing and a miss. Got him. Second strikeout of the afternoon. That's 1 down here in the inning. Now the number 9 man, Julian, makes his way up. He's the shortstop today. Jack Julian in his 10th game of the season. Junior infielder batting 167. Got 2 hits and 12 at-bats. And he struck out 6 times. High pop up into shallow center. Zerilli Jr. Parker is there. He's calling everyone off, and he makes the play for out number 2. one of the relatively easy plays for Parker. Consider the grabs he's had to make over the past week. Going through a fence and diving right at a wall. But hey, whatever you got to do to get on a SportsCenter top 10, as they say. Back to the top of the order, Tanner Santos. He was hit by a pitch and came around to score. Back in the first, he looks at strike one. It was only the second pitch of the game that he took it, looked like on the calf. And Hunt settling in here. After a shaky first, that's grounded over to second base. Blake is there. Short throw in time and a relatively easy inning for Hunt. He goes 1, 2, 3. Much better than the top of the first. Still remains 2-0 Babson over UMass Boston. Let's take a look at the LEC scoreboard, as there's a lot of action going on today. Let's talk about the game going on right now. There's a doubleheader between New England College and Plymouth State. Game 2 is coming up in just a little bit. We've also got Endicott at UMass Dartmouth. First pitch is about to get underway. That's a 3:30 start. Also got Westcon at Wesleyan, Castleton at Middlebury, and Bates taking on Southern Maine. So again, back here at Monin Park, Clark back on the mound. Only blemish was that one walk. That, by the way, that first game between New England College and Plymouth State was a New England College victory at 12-2. Game 2 has not started just yet, but we'll give you updates on that as it takes place from Henniker, New Hampshire. So Burris, Corliss, and Zerilli Jr. are due up here for the Beaks. Of course, joke's been made now and again, of course, on UMass Boston. You got to have a guy like Boston Burris, who's actually the leading hitter among LEC conference players, hitting at .459. He got 17 hits and 37 at-bats. No home runs, 9 runs batted in, as that's grounded over to the shortstop. And the easy throw on the first is out number 1. It'll be a 6-3 ground out. And now we got the catcher, Craig Corliss, making his way up. Mentioned it. The entire lineup struggled in both games against Southern Maine on Saturday. Corliss was 2 for 8, and he rips that one into the left center. That's going to get down, and it will roll all the way to the wall. Corliss making the turn into second, and he will get in there easily. It's the first hit of the afternoon for the Beaks, and it comes on a double from Craig Corliss. Let's take a look at that once again. A good piece of hitting there. As that was perfect placement on that one. Looks like he was just sitting on that pitch and got it all the way to the gap. See what Zerilli Jr. will do here. And he's got the green light, no bunt shown. I think early on you might want to have the best advantage to get to a run. Of course, Zerilli Jr. is one of the better hitters for this Beacons lineup. (2-0) now the count. Zerilli Jr. actually had a solo shot in game 1, or game 2, I should say, against Southern Maine on Saturday. He was probably the only hitter that had a a good game. And that one gets away from the catcher O'Brien. Over to third now goes Corliss. So now this game could be cut in half with a runner 90 feet away. Looked like it was just a fastball. It was a backhanded pick, at least from O'Brien's attempt, and he kind of lost control of it. I think if he knew where it was, Corliss might not have taken third. Zerilli Jr. got the green light there on the 3-0, and he fouled it away. Zerilli Jr. has 4 home runs and 27 runs batted in, along with his .314 average. He's the third leading hitter for UMass Boston. It's a short pop-up on the infield, and Clark comes off the mound and makes the play. And now 2 outs in the inning. You can tell Zerilli Jr. wanted that one back. Now 2 outs in the inning for Jimenez, the DH today. .254 hitter. Just missing there for ball 1. Jimenez has had a pretty good year, the sophomore outfielder from Waltham, Mass. 1-1 now the count. Jimenez playing his 28th game and getting his 22nd start. That one's fouled right in front of the Babson dugout. 1-2. Be great for Clark to get out of another jam. Both base runners for the Beaks have gotten into scoring position. And this one be brought home. A swing and a miss on a fastball. And Jimenez goes down by way of the K. They get Craig Corliss over to third base, but they cannot bring him home as we head to the top of the third with the score still 2-0. Babson on top. No runs on a hit and no errors. 1 left on base. Both of them have been in scoring position, as I mentioned. It looks like Ethan Hunt will come back for his 3rd inning of work, as there's still an arm warming up in the bullpen. And it looks like it's Thomas Kearse, the senior lefty, who's been warming up. Might be thinking, if Hunt gets into trouble in this inning, he might be in trouble. Actually, I apologize. That's not Kearse in the bullpen. I believe that is Owen Ackerman, the righty. Trying to get a number. Yeah, I do see a 32 out in the bullpen. So Ackerman would probably be the next man up. Of course, this is a non-conference game. So there is importance to win this game, but not a whole lot of importance if you have to be completely honest. Of course, talking LEC, Beacon's currently sitting in 3rd place. And they're only a half game up of the team they dropped their double-header to last Saturday, Southern Maine. So tiebreaker would go the way of Southern Maine. You also got UMass Dartmouth sitting in 5th at 5-6, Castleton's in 6th at 4-8. And you got Keene State 3-8, WestCon 3-10, Plymouth State 2-8. So Beacons are in a position to make the postseason. But position is going to be key that we're still waiting to figure out. Here's Chris Basile to lead things off here for the Beavers. Had a single and came around to score his last time up. Actually got the only hit for the Beavers so far. Babson has 2 runs on 1 hit and no errors. It was Hunt walked in a run, and then a fielder's choice brought in another one. The 1-1 pitch from Hunt. Fastball is fouled away. Count moves to 1-2. Spacio, the freshman from Miami Beach, Florida. Obviously a much different atmosphere, Florida versus Massachusetts, and that's lined right to Blake. Didn't even have to take a step, and that's out number 1. It was a line out for Blake, and now back to Savage we go. He drew a walk. Back in the first inning. And you got to be careful here with Brant Savage, the junior from Charlton, Mass. One of the leading hitters at .338. Got 10 home runs, 42 runs batted in, so can strike at any time for power. He looks at one inside and high. Hunt, since that first inning, has really settled down here. That one goes outside and past Corliss to the backstop. He allowed the first 3 base runners to reach in that first inning. Had a strikeout, walked in a run, got a fielder's choice, and a ground out. And that's ball 4. And Savage draws another walk, second walk of the game. See if Savage can reach home plate this time. Only got to third. And then in a streak of 6 retired batters in a row for Hunt. And now a throw, and it was a little bit high, but Blake is over there. Burris had a high throw there. Burris not a very tall player over there at first. Normally you have a little bit of height there on the corner. There goes Savage. Pitch is a strike. Here's the throw, and he is safe. And Blake cannot believe it. That was a very bang-bang play. But Savage picks up his 5th stolen base on the season. O'Brien, the catcher, now at an 0-1. Right on the first pitch, Savage took off the 70th stolen base for Babson. Let's take a look again at that stolen base, see how close it was. And it looks like he got in there by half a second. He saw Blake, was very surprised at it. As I said, bang-bang play, swing and a miss on a pitch outside. Count goes to 1-2 now on O'Brien, who was one of 2 strikeout victims for Ethan Hunt on the afternoon. Savage at third. Inside, he just got out of the way of that one. 2-2. Savage remains over at second. Blake is all the way on the outfield grass. And tried to hold up, but he could not. On strike 3, as was a slider that was tailing outside. 3rd strikeout of the day, the 2nd on O'Brien. Now 2 outs in the inning. We'll bring up Jackson Kelly. He walked his last time up. Fortunately, I don't believe you get credit for the RBI for walking in a run. Really good plate discipline back in the first inning. That's flared into the opposite field. Blake chasing after, and he makes the play for out number 3. Kelly is retired, and Savage gets over to first. He steals second, but nothing doing. And that will end things here in the top of the third. So while we're waiting for the Beaks to make their way up, let's take a look at a sneak peek at the Beaks' upcoming schedule. As we are winding down the spring season, Plymouth, as we mentioned, baseball was supposed to play Plymouth State yesterday, but was postponed, and now will take place tomorrow at 3 o'clock. But also just a few feet away from us will be softball, playing a doubleheader tomorrow against Curry College in a doubleheader. First game will be at 3, and then approximately 20 to 30 minutes after that will be game 2. And then this weekend's very big for outdoor track. They're got the LEC Championships taking place at UMass Dartmouth. That'll be all day. Of course, you can follow all the action there at beaconsathletics.com. And then baseball's got a second doubleheader going on against Rhode Island College. Currently scheduled for noon and 3:30 for their doubleheader. James Clark back on the mound here for Babson. So far, only 2 base runners allowed. Got 2 strikeouts and a walk. Has thrown 39 pitches here over the first 2 innings. But definitely pitch count will be something to monitor. So Beacons will get it started with the lefty Luke Levitt. He flashes bunt, but he pulls back for ball 1. Levitt, the junior from Manchester by the Sea, Massachusetts. To 2-0 the count now to Levitt. Swing and a miss, 2-1 to the left fielder. Levitt playing his 24th game and getting his 13th start. Levitt's a 173 hitter. And that one's into right field, and that will bounce right in front of the right fielder, Hozdovic. That was a tough play for him to make, so it should go down as a single. We'll get the official ruling on that one. Let's take a look at it again. The effort by Hozdovic. Looks like he was just half a step late as it bounced right in front of him. It was a good flare there by Levitt. Kind of dove a little bit late on that one, but good job to knock it down. Could have been extra bases if that got past. Now back to the top of the order we go. For Breon Parker, he struck out. That one's going to get to the foul. Well, they are going to score that as a single. We're back first. Levitt slides in safely. The second hit of the afternoon. Levitt, meanwhile, on the base pass. You saw him throw to first. There he goes. Pitches outside. Here's the throw down, and it hits him on the arm and gets into center field. But he will stay right there at second base. About to say, Levitt on the year for stolen bases, 3 of 5. Make it now 4 of 6. Parker, meanwhile, looking at a 1-1. The high pop-up on the infield. Like that. It's Basile calling it off. He makes the play, and there's 1 out in the inning. There's that stolen base again from Levitt. He got a really good... It was a little bit of a late jump, I'd have to say, looking at it. And you saw it. The throw was just off. I think he had good makeup speed there, getting into the base at second. First pitch swinging goes Gavea. It's popped into shallow left. Over there is Kelly, though. He makes the play. Levitt holds on at second. So just like in the first inning, Gavea flies out to left field. See if Metzdorf can do any damage here with 2 outs. He walked and had a stolen bases last time up. Gavea went first pitch swinging. Metzdorf goes first pitch swinging and fouls it to the left side. Wonder if that'll be a change in strategy by head coach Brendan Eigebrot in his 19th season. Try to attack the count early on. Again, 2-0 remains our score. Babson getting there 2 in the first inning. Only got 1 hit on the day. That one's outside. Mentioned pitch count. Just threw his 50th pitch of the afternoon. 1-1. High pop-up into right field. Chasing over it and calling everyone off is the second baseman, Santos. He makes the play, and the side is retired. So once again, a base runner gets into scoring position, but the Beaks cannot bring them home. And as we go to break, we're through 3 innings, and Babson leads it over UMass Boston 2-0. We'll be right back.
They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love.
The 5-campus UMass system is the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, being a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is it's a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned I was able to apply.
Back at Monin Park, there is a new pitcher on the mound for the Beaks. It is number 29, Tim Cianciolo, the senior righty from New Milford, Connecticut. So Ethan Hunt, who is currently on the bump, went 3 innings, gave up 1 hit, 2 earned runs, walked 3, and struck out 3. Meanwhile, Ozdovich is the first one to face Cianciolo. 1-0 the count. Got an RBI to his credit on a fielder's choice. Just looking at Hunt's start, check swing, and there is an appeal, and he did not go. Kind of a late appeal on that one there by Corliss. Just really that first inning dooming Hunt. Letting the first 3 batters reach and walking in a run. Other than that, he settled down pretty much. Only allowed one base runner since that first inning. But plan might have been for him to only go 2 or 3 innings. Swing and a miss there from Hostovic. Now moves to 3-2. The number 6, 7, and 8 hitters, as that one misses, and Cianciolo wanted that one. That'll go down as a walk. Third walk given up here by Beacon's pitching. As the first batter for Cianciolo is able to reach, and now Cole Collins, DH, who grounded out to second his last time up. That one misses outside. Again, this was the strategy for Babson all along. Lefty heavy down at the bottom. You walk a lefty, you face a lefty, and you got another lefty on deck. That one hits the edge. Strike 1. 1-1 the count here in the top of the 4th. And throw back to first in there safely is Hostovic. On the year, he's 1 for 2 in stolen bases. Been caught once, and he's got 1 stolen base. That one fouled to the back, 1-2. Count here for the DH. The 1-2. Cianciolo. And that's a high chopper over to Blake. He looks over at second. Instead, throws over to first. Hostovic makes his way over to second. 1 out in the inning. A routine 4-3 ground out. Patrick Manning now has a runner in scoring position. Can do some damage here. Base hit could bring the runner home. Manning struck out. One of 3 strikeout victims for Hunt in his outing. And throw over to second as Really Jr. was flashing. We've seen a lot of that all afternoon. The shortstops and the second baseman sort of shading over. Really Jr. now goes back deep into the hole at short. That one hits the edge, strike 1. Patrick Manning, senior outfielder from Weymouth, Mass. One and one now the count. Manning, a 196 hitter in the 16 games that he's played so far here for the Beavers. There's the 1-1. Breaking ball in there for strike 2. Look at a late dip on that one. Absolutely froze Manning. There is another arm in the Beacons bullpen. That one's grounded to the first base side, foul. Now remains at 1-2. It is a righty. Yeah, I think this was a bullpen game expected. Cianciolo just getting the sign there from Zerilli Jr. Zerilli Jr. did come in a little bit. Possibly another pickoff throw. Nope, he's going to back it out. And that's hit deep into right field. Gavea going back and still going back. And he backtracks. He makes the play. Ozdevik is going to tag up from second, no throw. But Gavea just kept backing up, and he eventually made the play out in right field. He had to battle the sun, a little bit of wind there. Ozdevik does make his way over to third base. Possibly looking at a 3-0 game if Julian can get a base hit here with 2 outs in the inning. Instead of breaking ball for strike 1. Julian flew out to center his last time up. That went inside. They are going to call that a fly out, not a sacrifice fly. 1-2 now the count. And the Beacons escape trouble once again. The 1-2 from Cianciolo. That's hit out into center. Parker coming in. He dives and he makes the play. Add another one to the highlight reel. Breon Parker. Maybe not as difficult as the past 2 he's had to make, but what an impressive diving grab there for Parker. Unbelievable. Just when you think he's made every kind of grab, he's been able. He flashes another one. Should have SportsCenter on speed dial. Talking to my producer, Michael Vesky. Got to get him going on speed dial. So 2 very difficult grabs by Beacon's outfielders. Started with Gavea in right, and then Parker on that one. So in a dramatic way, the inning ends and still no runs on the board since that first inning. So Beaks will come back up. They'll have Blake, Burris, and Corliss starting against James Clark. If you missed any news, highlights, or anything about Beacons Athletics, follow our social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. All you got to do is search at UMass Beacons. And you'll definitely see Breon Parker on that one, with yet another highlight reel grab. I don't know if anyone's had as many top play grabs as Parker has had in this stretch of time. So bottom of the 4th here. Aiden Blake is going to start things off. Still down 2-0 are the Beaks. We have had a base runner in every inning, and each base runner has gotten into scoring position. One and one now the count to the second baseman, who flew out to right field his last time up. So again, just to recap, you had for Parker, you had the diving grab against Southern Maine, who went into the cage. You also had a diving grab going through the fence against Nichols College. And then you've got today the diving play out in center. 3 games, 3 highlight reel plays. Three and one the count. Blake working against Clark. There's the delivery. One's fouled off to the right side over the Beacons dugout. Count is full at 3-2. 51 pitches entering this inning. High and inside, ball 4. Blake gets himself on base. The second walk. As we have a meeting at the mound here by Babson. While we have that time, see if we can find Parker's play once again as still reeling over that one. There is an arm in the Babson bullpen. I believe that's Theodore Dimitro warming up, the lefty wearing 24 in green. Meanwhile, James Clark is going to stay on the mound here working on 57 pitches. He'll deal with the first baseman, Burris. Austin Burris, who grounded out to short his last time up. High pop-up but out of play over the Babson dugout. And onto the concourse at Monin Park. I want to keep your eye over there for Blake. He's 7 of 10 on stolen bases. And we actually had just a little delay. We got a BC High is playing over in the field over in center field, and I believe someone just hit a home run. Throw back over to first. In there safely is Blake. And that is ripped but foul. Good job by the first base coach, Jackie Reynolds, getting out of the way of that one. 0-2 the count now on Burris. And that's a short grounder over to the left side. Throw over to second is not in time. Interesting play over there at short by Julian. Instead of going to first, he took the chance to get the lead runner. But Blake got in there safely. So now 2 runners are on for Craig Corliss, who had a double his last time up. Interesting play. It was sort of a slow dribbler. We'll get the replay in just a second, but it was kind of a slow dribbler. But still, deep into the hole, Julian, the shortstop, decided to go to second instead of going to first. Let's take a look again. Kind of a half swing there. And he still tried to make the quick play, but the speed of Blake got over to second in time. He stepped off the mound over back to Corliss, still waiting for the first pitch. And it's ball 1. Corliss, as mentioned, he has a double. Only one of 2 hits. That one down low. Now it's a 3-0 count. The golden opportunity here for the Beaks. Corliss again showing bunts. And he's going to pull back and take strike 1. But Corliss not agreeing with that one. Thought it was a little bit high. And now interesting there. You don't have a pitch clock, but I a hitter's violation was just called, and now the count goes full. So interesting. I think Corliss wanted to call timeout, but it wasn't recognized, and the umpire says he was too slow, and that's ripped over to shortstop. Julian goes on to second for one, over to first. On a one hop is in there for a double play. And just like that, there are 2 outs in the inning. Blake does get over to third. A 6-4-3 double play, and now it's really Junior, the shortstop, with 2 outs. Trying to get one on the scoreboard. Breaking ball in there for strike one. Really Junior popped out to the pitcher. Clark his last time up. That one fouled straight to the backstop. Quickly 0-2 now. Dimitro still warming up in that Babson bullpen. Fouled back once again. Against Beacons have not played since Saturday, so we are in the fourth. Might be shaking off a little bit of rust. And that is a short pop-up over to the third base side. And the side is retired. So once again, another base runner for the Beaks gets into scoring position, but they can't do anything about it. We move to the top of the fifth now, with Babson still on top 2-0. They got that 2-0 lead back in the first inning, but it's been nothing but zeros across the board for both sides. And it looks like Cianciolo will be back out on the mound. You're going to have to deal with the top of the order here for Babson. So again, it was a golden opportunity that last half inning. Aiden Blake draws the walk. Burris gets himself over to second. Corliss grounding into the double play. So far, both pitchers have been able to settle in. Good outing so far here by James Clark, making Algonquin Regional High School proud. I know he's making me proud at least. He got 70 pitches on the afternoon. 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Although I will say for Clark, he's in the rival town where I grew up, so you either got 2 towns. You're either from Northborough or you're from Southborough. Clark is from the south. That one goes in there for a strike to Santos at the top of the order. Second baseman so far 0-1. He was hit by a pitch in the first, and he grounded out in the second. Now is quickly in the hole 0-2. And slow grounder over to Zerilli Jr. Long throw over, and that was much closer than I thought, but Santos using that speed. He is retired, though, 1 out in the inning. Go now to Basile, the first baseman. He's 1 for 2. Had a single and came around to score. Also lined out to second. Breaking ball in there for strike 1 by Cianciolo. And so far, no more arms warming up right now in the Beacons bullpen. At least not at the moment. A couple of soft tosses out there. Couple of guys in warm-ups. Another breaking ball gets in there for strike 2. Boy, Cienciolo's been using that curve quite a lot since he's come in. Here's the 1-2. He goes fastball, but it's fouled away and out of play. That's a grounder. Really Jr. again. Going to do a jump throw, and he got him. Boy, these fielders for the Beaks are making highlight play after highlight plays. Really Jr. doing his best Derek Jeter impersonation, and there's 2 outs in the inning. That's all arm strength on that one. Strike 1 now to Savage, the third baseman. Still looking for his first at-bat as he's walked both times he's appeared. 1-1 now the count. Which is kind of, the 2 walked is kind of a subtle win because he is such a power threat at the plate. Takes one in the dirt. There's the 2-1. That is ripped in past the diving Metzdorf. That's going to get in for a hit. And Savage making his way over to second. Here's the throw. And he just got in there. So Savage gets in there with a double. That was just past Metzdorf. I think he needed to take one more step. Yeah, just a little bit of a late reaction on that one, and of course that was fair. Able to get tracked down in time there out and left by Levitt. Now we'll see if the catcher O'Brien can get out of the rut he's been in. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. They could use a hit, get some insurance runs here. In a bright sunny day here at Monin Park, just outside of downtown Boston. Throw over to second. Just in there in time is Savage. Started as an overcast day, but clouds are now well beyond us. And the temps in the low 50s. Just the gentle breeze. 1-1 the count. Tell you what, at least for the games that I've worked here for the Beacons Broadcast Network, this might be the best weather we've seen. Got a lot of cold and wind. One and 2 now to O'Brien, looking to avoid the hat trick by way of the K. And he takes outside. Fastball now. Count even at 2. The 2-2. Just missing. Corliss tried to frame it. Now the count moves full. Would be the left fielder, Jackson Kelly, if O'Brien can stay alive. And throw back to second again. Nice. No play. The 3-2 to Michael O'Brien. That's foul to the backstop. That was the 6th pitch of the at-bat. Cianciolo now over 30 pitches. This will be number 34. 3-2. Fastball down low for ball 4. And O'Brien is going to reach. Now there's a runner on first and second. And there's still a chance here for the Beavers to get a 2-out rally going. Looks like Cianciolo tried to power that fastball in. But now you've got Savage at second, O'Brien at first, and now Kelly, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Cianciolo is about to throw his 40th pitch. As again, movement in the Beacons bullpen, but nobody warming up. Everyone just kind of loosening up there. Breaking ball stays inside. That was the 4th walk given up by Beacons pitching. Second for Cianciolo, Ethan Hunt had the first 2. That's chopped over a third base side, and Metzdorf's just going to tag the bag himself. And the inning is over. So again, base runners here for Babson, but no damage done. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and the Beavers are still on top, 2-0. We'll be right back after these short messages.
In another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
Two to nothing our score. Mariano Jimenez is going to lead off the bottom of the 5th against James Clark, who has been throwing shutdown innings for Babson. He's only allowed 2 hits, got a shutout going. Probably had the toughest inning so far of his outing last half in the 4th. One fouled off himself. 0-2 now to Jimenez, who's struck out in his lone plate appearance. He considers have only struck out twice. They've been able to really work the count on Clark. They still have a lefty, Babson does, in Dimitro. Warming up, and a breaking ball swing and a miss. Jimenez down for the 2nd time. 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Clark. And that's the first out of the inning. 3 pitches, and down goes Jimenez. Clark, I should say, has 73 pitches now here in the afternoon. That was number 74, which was high and outside to the left fielder Levitt. Levitt's got a single and a stolen base. That was back in the third. Swing and a miss. That one tailed outside. And that is ripped down the right field line. That's going to get down for a hit. And be fair, Levitt's going to turn and go for second. The throw is cut off, and now Levitt's 2 for 2. He's got a single and a double. Boy, how about the offense coming from the number 9 man? 3 hits on the day for the Beaks. Both of them, or 2 of them, I should say, have come from Levitt, as he just ripped that one down the right field line. And it seems like that's what it is going to take here for the Beaks, is getting some small ball. Now back to the top of the order, Breon Parker, 0 for 2. Strikeout and a pop-out. And Clark having to step off there. Saw a little miscommunication there with O'Brien. O'Brien, I think he was saying, don't worry, just throw the pitch. Don't worry about that runner over at second. That one's hit out into center, but right there on it to make the play is Manning. And Levitt has to hold. Parker now 0 for 3 on the day. One through 4 hitters, I should say 1 through 5 hitters on the day. Just as a note, are 0 for 8 with 2 walks. Then Corliss and Levitt, who has the hits for the Beaks. 2-0 to count to Justin Gavea, who's flown out to left field both times up. Looks at a pitch down low. Count is 3-0. And Beaks have had a base runner in every inning so far, but they have not brought him home. That misses for ball 4. So Gavea gets on with a walk. There's 2 men on with 2 men out. Third walk given up here by Clark. We'll bring up Metzdorf, who does have one of those 3 walks. He's also popped out to second. He's 0-1. Goes first pitch swinging, fouls it off. Should also mention about the base runners that every base runner has gotten to scoring position. The 0-1, both runners are going. That pitch is in the dirt. Good block by O'Brien, but the double steal is going to work. And it's now second and third. Again, aggressive on the base paths today. Metzdorf, a base hit, could now tie this game. That goes to the left side, but over there at short is Julian. He makes the play. And again, another wasted opportunity there for the Beaks. They get 2 runners in scoring position, but they cannot bring them home. 2-0 remains the score with Babson on top. And James Clark. Yeah, it looked like Metzdorf kind of reached out of the zone for that one. Swung at a ball and grounded it to Julian. Julian making the easy play. And we'll have to see. Cianciolo is back on the mound. He'll return for his third inning of work. That seems to be a theme here so far with the Beaks. As mentioned, every runner getting into scoring position, or I should say a runner has gotten to scoring position in every inning. But so far, nothing. They have not been brought home. Cianciolo is going to deal with Hosdovic, Collins, and Manning in this inning. But Clark has done a very good job. You know, he's been in trouble, but he's gotten out of it every single time. So far, he's thrown 84 pitches over 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Now Cianciolo is going to get the top of the 6th started. He's thrown 41 pitches so far in 2 innings. Giving up nothing, 1 hit, and 2 walks. Hosdovic fouling that one off. Now moves to 1-1. Hosdovic is 0 for 1. Has an RBI and a fielder's choice ground out. He also walked. That one is ripped but foul. Over on the right side. Joe Braverman with you here at Monin Park for a non-conference game here for the Beaks. We'll be right back at it tomorrow against Plymouth State in a makeup game. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. And Hosdovic is down for the first out of the inning. That's the first strikeout that's been thrown here by Cianciolo since he's come on. Between him and Hunt, that's the 4th strikeout. Here's the DH Collins, who's grounded out to second. His both time's up. He's 0 for 2. Fastball fouled away. Down at 1-1. Again, both bullpens remain quiet. Have to see maybe if head coach Matt Noon, in his 21st season, is going to stick with Clark as long as he can. 1-2 now the count. The DH. Went inside, able to hold up. Moving now to 2-2. We are an hour and a half into today's game. Three and two to the lefty. Cianciolo delivers to Cole Collins. Breaking ball, tails in there for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts as he was absolutely frozen on that slider. Just caught the outside part of the zone. Two outs in the inning now. Patrick Manning makes his way to the dish. Goes in there for strike 1. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. That's strike 2 to Manning. Should mention Manning's fly out to right the last time up was a little bit of robbery there from Justin Gavea. A lot of backpedaling on that one. One, two. And that is ripped right up the middle. Sliding play by Zerilli Jr. Throw over on a hop is not in time. Good effort there for Gianni Zerilli Jr. But just half a step late. As that was right up the middle. That was a difficult play to make. Yeah, it looked like he got a step ahead of it. Throw was on a hop. So that should go down as an infield single. Throw back over, not in time. Now the number 9 man, Julian, makes his way up. Jack Julian is 0 for 2. He was robbed of a hit last time he was up in the 4th by Breon Parker. Of course, who hasn't been robbed of a hit by Breon Parker with the plays he has made over the past week? I went outside. 1-0 the count. Manning over there at first. One gets in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Manning has 2 stolen bases on the year. He's been caught once. Here's the 1-1. Manning taking off, and that one's fouled away. Again, going for the hit and run. Both teams very aggressive here on the base paths. Another throw back to first. Manning slides in safely. Teams have combined for 5 stolen bases today. Granted, 4 of them have come from UMass Boston. Here's the 1-2 to Julian. Breaking ball outside. Inciolo waits. Here's the 2-2. Foul over. Once again, we're going 2-2. Babson has had a base runner reach in all but 1 inning so far. That was back in the 2nd. Again, the 2 runs show for it. They came all the way back in the 1st. First 3 batters reached. Nathan Hunt walked in a run. And another run scored on a fielder's choice. Oh, and he has to duck out of the way. Hit him in the helmet, but he is okay. It was a breaking ball there. It was a breaking ball, so nothing too damaging. He's completely okay, but that's the 2nd hit batsman. Now Manning will make his way over to 2nd. Julian goes over to 1st. Now top of the order here for Santos. You just see it was a breaking ball that didn't break. It's as simple as that. As mentioned, Santos, who was actually the other hit batsman for Babson, took it on the 2nd pitch of the game. Down low for ball 1. Santos is 0 for 2. Grounded out twice. Brewers get a great opportunity to open this game up. Throw back to second. And again, Manning in there safely. They're keeping a close eye there on number 29 in green, Patrick Manning. As mentioned, he's only got 3 stolen base attempts. He's been caught once. That one in there. 1-1 now the count. Tanner Santos, the junior infielder, 5'11", 175 pounds from Bethany, Connecticut. Mentioned it's a heavy lineup lefty. And Cianciolo faking again. Throw over to second. And Babson comes in today 21-13. Got a NUMAC record of 10-4. We're speaking of a shout out to the NUMAC conference for its 25th season as a conference. That started back in 1998. Babson currently sitting in second in the Eastern Division of the NUMAC Conference. In all likelihood, they'll make their way to the playoffs. That one just misses. 2-2 now the count. As mentioned, this is the end of the regular season for Babson. This is the last non-conference game. Then they've got a home-and-home versus Wheaton. Got a single game on Friday and then a doubleheader on Saturday. Outside for ball 3. Count goes to 3-2. Runners will get a head start here. Maybe a base hit or a gapper can blow this game open. Cianciolo on the set. Here's the 3-2. And that's low for ball 4. Bases are now loaded. Third straight base runner to reach here for Babson. And now Chris Basile with a chance to really break open the game. He's 1 for 3. He's got a single. That one gets in there for strike 1. Again, all coming with 2 outs. Started with 2 strikeouts back to back. Then a single, a hit by pitch, and a walk. Has ducks on all the ponds. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball now. 0-2 the count. Good curve action there. Down low in the zone. Here's the 0-2. The delivery, Cianciolo. That's grounded over to the first base side for Burris, and he's going to take it himself for 3 unassisted. And the Beaks escape trouble as Babson leaves the bases loaded. So again, Cianciolo makes his way out of it. Good job there to ground it over to the first base side, and Burris just an easy play to take it himself. So we're going to the top of the 6th here. Still a 2-0 game. Beavers on top of the Beacons. And James Clark is back on the mound. As mentioned, they might want to stretch him out if he continues this shutout. He's got the 4, 5, and 6 man to face here in the bottom of the 6th. That'd be Blake, Burris, and Corliss. So far, the Beaks have struggled. Only 3 hits, but they have had a base runner, as I mentioned. Had at least one base runner get into scoring position in every inning. And this lineup has been shut down for the past couple of games. Mentioned it. Last game was a doubleheader at Southern Maine. They lost 3-1 and 9-3. Had a combined 16 hits between those 2 games. Only 5 of them, though, were extra base hits. So far, they've left 6 men on base today. So we'll have to keep an eye here on James Clark. He's working on 84 pitches right now, and for the past couple of innings, we've seen Theodore Dimitro warm up in the bullpen. There's Aiden Blake. He takes strike 1. Blake is 0 for 1 with a walk and fly out. Grounded to the third base side, foul and out of play. There is a righty warming up I see in the Beacons bullpen. Try and get you a number on that one. Short chopper, but foul. I think Blake had no idea where it was. Didn't know it was right behind him. I believe that's Brendan Ferrari warming up right now for UMass Boston. Getting that arm loose. I'll have to see if Cienciolo returns for the 7th. He did escape a bases loaded jam. One and 2, the count to the second baseman. Going outside and in the dirt. So Blake's gone from 0-2 to even it up. Blake in that doubleheader was a combined 1 for 8 with 3 strikeouts against Southern Maine. He rips that one out to center field, but right there to make the play on it was Manning. So Blake goes 0 for 2. Go back to Boston Burris here, the number 5 man. He reached on a fielder's choice. It was that odd play where Julian went to second instead of going to first on a slowly hit ball. And that's a chopper right up the middle. There is the aforementioned Julian. And he makes the play. And there's 2 outs in the inning. Like for Clark, he's found a groove here late in the game. That's a first pitch strike to the catcher Corliss. He's got one of the 3 hits here for UMass Boston. He's got a double. He also grounded into a double play, which quelled the rally back in the 4th. Quickly, the count is 0-2. Clark looks like he's moving the pace up a little bit. High fly into shallow right. Like calling off and making the play out and right is Hostovich, and that is the first 1-2-3 inning for Babson. How about that? It took up until the bottom of the 6th to get that going, but no base runners. And we head to the top of the 7th with the Beaks up 2-0 as we see Brendan Ferrari making his way out to the bullpen. Or making his way out to the mound from the bullpen, I should say. Ferrari, the righty, junior from Dunstable, Mass, will be the 3rd pitcher of the afternoon. Ferrari comes into today with a 6.38 earned run average. He's 2-0 in his 14 appearances. Allowed 23 hits in his 18 and a third innings. Allowed 13 runs, all earned, 9 walks, and 22 strikeouts. Now the final line for Cienciolo, he threw 70 pitches over his 3 innings of work. Allowed 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So we've seen Brendan Ferrari, of course, hard-throwing right-hander. Again, he's not a tall guy out there. He's 5'8", 175. But he loves to mix in that heater of a fastball with that breaking stuff. He got a good moving slider out there. But again, ever since that first inning, Beacon's bullpen has been able to shut down this Babson lineup. Matter of fact, they have only allowed 2 hits since that inning. Of course, the line has 3 hits right now in total. So Ferrari is going to start off the top of the 7th with the number 3 man, Grant Savage. He's got 2 walks and a double. Savage has yet to be retired. He's reached base every single time. We'll see if Ferrari can try and change that here. He throws ball 1. Savage, O'Brien, and Kelly due up here in this inning. The 2-seamer gets in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Again, we mentioned it, only 5'8", but he is a hard-throwing righty. Gets past Corliss into the backstop. 2-1 now the count to Savage. Here's the 2-1. And Corliss blocks it again outside. Count goes 3-1. 2 walks by Savage, by the way, puts him up to 20 on the year. And he rips that one into left field for a base hit past the diving Zerilli Jr. So Savage is 2 for 2. He's reached base all 4 times he's gone up to bat. And it's a leadoff single here to start the top of the 7th. He was right on top of that one. Again, it went under the glove. It looked like of Zerilli Jr. Brian's going to show bunt here, and he does get it down. Ferrari is just going to underhand it over to first. For the first out, Savage makes his way over to second. One out in the inning. This will bring up the left fielder, Kelly. Jackson Kelly, who is 0 for 2. Ferrari on the set. That's a chopper over to Zerilli Jr. He looks over to third, and it's a high throw, but no, he called him safe. The base umpire. And now here comes Brendan Igabrot. Base umpire saying he reached. before he got the tag. Let's take a look at that again. It was a chopper. And high throw. Maybe the tag came in late. Umpires are discussing it right now. All right, see if we can time that out. It does look like he got the tag. And they're going to change it, and they're going to call it an out. And here comes the third base coach, and he is livid with the call. And the third base coach is livid. Trying to get an explanation. So cool. As of right now, cooler heads are prevailing. It does go as a ground out. Savage does make his way over to third. That's a first pitch swing and a miss there by Hosdovic. He's 0 for 2, fielder's choice and an RBI. He's also struck out. The 0-2 now from Ferrari. In the dirt, good block by Corliss. That goes to 1 and 2. Yeah, going back to that play, it did look like the throw was high. Good leap by Burris to grab it, and it looked like he just got his right elbow in time. Grounded over to Zerilli Jr. It's a high throw, and that one gets away. The run is going to score. Hosdovic over to second. The throw down is not in time, so the inning is not over. The run scores, and it's 3-0. So Zerilli Jr. avoids the error on the previous play, but he can't avoid this one. Double pumped that one. Not sure if he just had a good... I don't think he had a good grip on it. Now Hosdovic gets over to second. Savage got to the plate. He scored the run. Makes it 3-0. What a sudden turn of events here. Thought the Beaks were going to escape an overturned call. What a tough inning for Gianni Zerilli Jr. 1-1 the count to Cole Collins. 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Looks at a breaking ball. Move the count to 2-1. Now just a slight cushion as that one's grounded foul into the Beacons. The Beavers dugout, excuse me. 2-2 now the count to the DH. That one in there for strike 3. Side is retired, but not before a wild turn of events. It was a wild turn of events. Savage gets an opening single. He gets over to second. Was going to be an E6 that got overturned, but then the E6 brought home a run. And it's now 3-0. Babson on top. For the Beaks, let's look at their schedule ahead. As mentioned, they were going to come off being at Plymouth State, but that was postponed. It will take place tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Of course, you can head to the Beacons Athletics website or follow any of the social media pages to get information on that. They've got a doubleheader against Rhode Island College this upcoming Saturday. First game at noon. They'll be at UMass Dartmouth on May 2nd. Then they'll be at Amherst on 3:30. And then their final game of the regular season will be right here against Eastern Connecticut State next Saturday for a doubleheader that will start at noon. And then the playoffs will begin. Beacons are on their way there. Just a matter of what position will they be in. As of right now, they sit in third place, a half game up on Southern Maine. They are still technically mathematically in play for home field. Of course, the home team, or top team, will host the entire tournament for the LEC. Right now, it would be Rhode Island College. And first pitch swinging goes to Riley Jr. He's going to pop that one out to right field for an easy can of corn. And we do have a pinch hitter now up for Jimenez. This would be Chris Duco, 5'8", 180-pound senior from Dedham, Mass. So he's going to come in for Jimenez. He leaves the day 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Duco enters today in his 18th game. He's got 8 hits and 33 at-bats. No home runs, 4 runs batted in for a .242 batting average. Oh, 0-1 now the count to Duco. That one's in there, 1-2 now the count. So the pinch hitter, Duco, did pinch hit in game 1 against Southern Maine, and he went 0 for 1. That one's high and inside. 0-2 now the count. Again, James Clark's still out there. Don't see any arms right now. Swing and a miss. Duco goes down on strikes. Now there's 2 outs in the inning. Now we have Luke Levitt, who has been, without a doubt, the best hitter today in the lineup for UMass Boston. He's 2 for 2, single and a double. That's 2 of the Beacons' 3 hits. So great performance today from the number 9 man. But again, the 0 still remains on the board. Oh, it's fouled out of play. Interesting here from Clark. He's picked up the tempo and the pace a little bit here in these last couple of innings. He didn't see him work this fast in his first couple of innings. Swing and a miss. That's a 1-2-3 inning on back-to-back strikeouts for James Clark. And we head to the top of the 8th with a 3-0 game. Babson still on top. We'll take a short break. Actually, we won't, because we have a new pitcher making his way out to the mound. This will be the 4th pitcher of the afternoon. This looks like, trying to get a number here. And this looks to be Jackson Snyder, and it is. We'll get the junior righty up, 6'4", 210 pounds from Durham, North Carolina. Snyder making his 14th appearance on the year. He's got a 6.59 ERA. He's allowed 16 hits and 13 runs, 10 of them earned. Walked 10 and struck out, walked 11 and struck out 10 in his 13 2/3 of work. It was mentioned, fourth pitcher of the afternoon. Started with Hunt, then went to Cianciolo. Ferrari took care of the 7th. Now we go to the 8th with a new one. Right now it would be Ethan Hunt on the bump for what could be his second loss of the season. No fielding changes, though, as Duco was the pinch hitter for the DH. So fielders are exactly the way they are. Snyder's going to deal with Manning, Julian, and go back to the top of the order with Santos. So Patrick Manning had a single his last time up. He's actually stranded, and the bases were loaded back in the 6th. He's 1 for 3. Oh, and 1 the count to the center fielder. 1-1 now the count. Beavers have 3 runs on 4 hits. That's chopped over to Burris over at first. He's going to throw on to Snyder, and ooh, that was close. But able to make the play for the out. Manning was showing his speed. I don't think Snyder was expecting him to be that close on the ground out, but there is 1 out in the inning. Go to the number 9 man. Jack Julian makes his way up. He reached on a hit by pitch his last time up. Other than that, he's 0 for 2. One out the count. That one down low, gets past Corliss. You have to keep an eye on James Clark next half inning. He's at 102 pitches right now. Still working on a 3-hit shutout. 2-1 now the count. The 2-1 here from Snyder. That's fouled to the backstop. Go from 2-0 to now even at 2-2. The delivery. Curveballs is low. And now the count is full at 3-2. Here's Snyder's 3-2. Is ripped, but well foul. That was a hard hit ball, but just too far out in front of it. Three-two is outside. Corliss tried to frame it. That's ball 4. And Julian reaches for the second straight at bat. Now back to the top of the order. To Tanner Santos. Santos, who reached via the walk. Also reached on a hit by pitch back in the first inning. He got 2 groundouts. That one is inside. It gets past Corliss. Julian will make his way over to second base. It looks like Corliss had it in the tip of his glove. Kind of a snow cone kind of thing, but he dropped it. And the umpire a little bit in the way. I don't think that would have mattered regardless. Now Julian's sitting in scoring position. Here's the 1-0. Low for ball 2. Of course, you'll be able to recognize when Santos is up with that bright orange bat. Really stands out with the dark green jerseys and helmet. Two and one now the count. And it's been all righties. That's grounded. Oh, and it gets Pazzarilli Jr. As that should go down as another error. Julian made the turn but was held up. That looked like it was going to be an easy backhand. Well, it has been a tough day for Gianni Zarilli Jr. He made 2 errors in 2 innings. And depending on what Chris Basile can do, it'll be the second straight inning that error has brought home a Babson run. In a tight contested game like this, those runs are going to be crucial. Basile is 1 for 4 on the day. Had a single all the way back in the first inning. And the runner is going. Throw over to second is dropped by Blake. And Santos gets in there with a stolen base. Kind of surprised Corliss made the throw over. Of course, you have the runner at third. Got to be a little careful there. One and 0 is the count to Basile. That is Santos's 14th stolen base on the season. And he is still yet to be caught. The 2-0 from Snyder. Infield is in. Definitely have to think a grounder. They're coming home with it. Basile is awaiting Snyder's 2-1. Here it is. And that is ripped into left field for a base hit. One runner is going to score. Santos is going to be held at third. That's an RBI single for Chris Basile, and it's 4-0 Babson. And right under the diving Zarilli Jr. And again, his rough day continues. Now a chance for Savage. He's reached every single time he's been up to plate. 2 walks, a double, and a single. He's only come around to score once. Gets in there for a strike. Looks like this inning is Snyder's. I'm not seeing any arms right now in the Beacons bullpen warming up. Runners are on the corners. Snyder throws over. Back in safely is Basile. Wonder if Babson will try it again. Go for that steal. Basile has 13 stolen bases. Santos picked up his 22nd. Breaking ball into left field for a base hit. Santos is easily going to score. Runners advance. Make it 5-0 now on the RBI single for Brant Savage. And now the Beacons are in a lot of trouble here. Only gave up those 2 runs in the first. Went the next 5 innings not giving anything up. But some errors and some unfortunate hits has broken open the game in Babson's favor. Mike O'Brien looks at ball 1. He is 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, a walk, and a sacrifice bunt. And now timeout is called as we'll get a meeting at the mound. It has been a rough outing for Snyder so far. He had a ground out. But then the next 4 batters have reached. And so far, 2 of them have come to score. Looks like I do see an arm. See a player loosening up right now. Hasn't thrown quite yet. Trying to get a number on that one, on who is stretching right now in the Beacons bullpen. Mike O'Brien's up with the 1-0 count. Babson now leading 5-0. Now got those 5 runs on 6 hits. 2 errors by Gianni Zerilli Jr. have come back to bite UMass Boston. The 1-1 from Jackson Snyder inside. I'm going to stretch out of the way of that one is O'Brien. So far, again, it would be Ethan Hunt on the bump for the decision. One and the throwback to first. Not in time. No reach for the tag. 3-1 now the count. I believe that's Aiden McMillan in the bullpen right now for the Beaks, the lefty warming up. Throwback to second. Everyone in safely. We've seen a lot of that from both teams. Very conscientious about the runners. Swing and a miss. O'Brien chasing a ball. That would have been ball 4. Now the count is full at 3-2. Still 1 out in the inning. Beaks would love to get out of this, only giving up 2. Swing and a miss. And that is the unfortunate hat trick for Michael O'Brien. He struck out 3 times here this afternoon. And there's now 2 outs in the inning. Now Jackson Kelly going to try and keep this rally going with 2 outs. He is 0 for 3 with a walk. Was in there for strike 1. There is an arm warming up in the Babson bullpen as well. Looks like it's Luke McClintock. Have to see if Clark is done for the day. He is at over 100 pitches, and he has been sitting for a little bit of time while his lineup has put a couple runs on the board. Here's the 1-1 to Kelly. That one in the dirt, good block there by Corliss. Two and one now the count. A little Jackson v. Jackson matchup here. Snyder against Kelly. Basile is at second. Savage is at first. 2 runs already in this inning. As the count moves to 2-2. That one hit the outside edge. Here's Snyder on the set. 2-2. Outside. Count is full. Runners are going to get a head start here. Again, another gapper. Could break the game open. Obviously got speed on the base path. 3-2. There go the runners, and fouled away to the backstop. Interesting how been nothing but righties coming out from the bullpen. And that's in there for strike 3. Kelly thought it was ball 4. But Snyder able to escape the inning, but not before Babson picks up 2 more runs and gets this game now to 5-0 in favor of the Beavers. And we'll have to see if James Clark is coming back out to the mound, and he is. Interesting here, James Clark. Let's try and get his numbers so far here this afternoon. Working on a shutout. Had 102 pitches over 7 innings. Only given up 3 hits. He's walked 3 and struck out 5. So you have to think because he's over at 100 pitches, the minute he gets into trouble, you might see McClintock come on in. So far, no changes, though. Chris Duco been the only pinch hitter we've seen. It's the top of the order here for the Beacons. Due up would be Parker, Gavea, and Metzdorf. But it has been a rough couple of innings, specifically for the senior infielder, Gianni Zerilli Jr. A couple of errors leading to a couple of runs. But the Beacons do get 2 more chances to bat here at least, if they can't take the lead in this half inning. Started off with Parker. First pitch for a strike there to Parker. Parker 0 for 3 with a K. And that one hit him. So Clark losing the command, and right away comes Matt Noon. He's not taking any chances. Looks like he is going to be done right after the hit by pitch. It was almost like, you might think there might have been an agreement in the dugout. You know, you allow 1 base runner, we're done. But what a tremendous outing from James Clark, who mentioned it, going 7+ shutout innings. Now this will be McClintock. A man wearing 25 in green, sophomore, 6'1", 200 pounds from South Hamilton, Massachusetts. So McClintock on the year. Is making his 10th appearance. He's gone 9 2/3 innings. Given up 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So we'll see if Luke McClintock can try and shut things down here and close out a victory here for Babson. Again, Clark, I should say, is responsible for Parker on the hit by pitch. So Clark is going to finish the day 7+ at 104 pitches. 3 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. McClintock is going to deal with Gavea as his first batter. And I do got to say, James Clark making the Gonk very proud. We'll see if Gavea can get some things going here. Where's McClintock? First delivery is a ball. Gavea 0 for 2. 2 flyouts and a walk. Yeah, we've seen the Beacons come up with some late inning magic in previous games this season. They have to have that and a little bit more here today. Going outside. Now it goes to 2-1. We're approaching 2 hours. 2.5 hours, I should say, on this game. That one catches the outside edge. Now moving to 2-2. McClintock, a quick worker out there. Not taking a lot of time in between those pitches. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. And Gavea goes down on strikes. That's the first out of the inning. We'll have to see if Eigebrot decides to be aggressive on the base paths. Parker is 7 of 9 in stolen base attempts. So he might feel comfortable wanting to send Parker. Metzdorf takes ball 1 inside. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Again, this whole lineup for the Beaks has been really struggling pretty much over the past 3 games. Losing the doubleheader, only scoring a total of 4 runs in those 2 games. Getting shut out here. The throw over to first, not in time. You're hoping that the offense isn't sputtering out as we get closer to the playoffs. That's a slow grounder over to the third base side, onto second for 1, and Parker goes down as he slid and made contact with Santos, the second baseman. Parker looks to be okay. I'll go down as a fielder's choice. Metzdorf will go over to first, but there is 2 outs in the inning. See if Aiden Blake can keep the inning going. And there goes Metzdorf. Throw down to second is not in time. And Metzdorf having to do some really good body control. He almost rolled over. Made sure he had to keep his hand on the bag. Stolen base for Metzdorf. That one low and outside. That was Metzdorf's 21st stolen base, and now he's going for third. But that one is fouled to the backstop. Aiden Blake is 0 for 2 with a walk. And are we going to get a pinch runner here? It looks like we are. Interesting. Right after Metzdorf took off for third, we see Nick Farnese come in to pinch run. Wonder if that was maybe a decision on his own, where he decided to go to third. That one is blocked. Farnese's going to head over to third. Here's the throw. And a good pick over there by Savage. Not sure O'Brien should have made the throw. Farnese was going to get in there easily. Here's the 2-2. And a swing and a miss. It does get in the dirt. And did they get him? Yes, they did. That'll go down as a strikeout. And the Beacons are held in check once again. And what do? They leave a runner in scoring position. So, interesting decision to take out Metzdorf. I don't know if that's a sort of white flag kind of thing. But we'll see as we got a new pitcher. This will be the 5th pitcher of the afternoon. And this is Ethan Herrera. Looks like Farnese will just do a straight up third base. So Ethan Herrera, interesting here, he is listed as an outfielder. Senior, 6 foot, 189 pounds. Well, of course, many of these players are very versatile. Herrera from Newington, Connecticut. He's making his 14th appearance. He is 1-0 with a 5.60 ERA. Pitched 17 2/3, giving up 19 hits, 12 runs, 11 of them earned, 10 walks, and 15 strikeouts. He does also have a save to his credit. So started with Ethan Hunt and went to Tim Cianciolo and Brendan Ferrari, Jackson Snyder, and now Ethan Herrera. It'll be Hostovich, Collins and Manning due up here in the top of the ninth. The first pitch is outside for ball one. That one's fouled off to the left side, out of play. So McClintock comes in, relief of Clark, and he shuts everything down. Final line for Clark, he went 7+ innings, 3 hits, no runs, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. That's ripped out to center. Going back is Parker. He leaps, and he cannot get it. And Hozdovich rounding second, and he's going to get held at third. Parker with an excellent effort, but just a little bit out of his reach. It's a leadoff triple for Ryan Hozdovich. That, again, a tremendous effort. And now we got a pinch hitter. It's not going to be Cole Collins. This is going to be Justin Guest. So Guest is appearing in his 9th game. He does not have a hit, though, in his 14 at-bats. He's walked twice and struck out 7 times. And he's going to swing at this one. Out to deep right center. Gavea going back, and he makes the play. Tagging at third and scoring is Hozdovic. And it's 6-0 Babson off the sacrifice fly. The Beacons bullpen has really just been unraveling here in these last 3 innings. 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and 1 in the 9th. Now Patrick Manning up for the 5th time. He is 1 for 4. That one's right over the head of the pitcher. Throwing to first is in time for the out. There'll be 2 outs now in the inning. That was a high chopper there. Probably a good thing there for Zrilli Jr. making that play. He has had a rough day out there at shortstop. 2 errors, which inevitably led to some runs. The first pitch strike there to Jack Julian. He walked and came around to score his last time up. He's also been hit by a pitch. Popped out and flew out. Oh, and 2 the count. Now 1-2. That one just missing. Count goes from 0-2 to even at 2. That one fouled to the back once again. Now the count is full at 3-2. Hitting quite not over, possibly. That one's ripped into left field. That'll get in for a base hit. A single from the number 9 man, Julian. He's now reached in his last 3 plate appearances. Mentioned the hit by pitch, the walk, and the single. And this is going to be all Herrera to try and get out of this inning and limit any more damage. As now back to the top of the order we go with Santos, who reached on an E6 his last time up. He is 0 for 3. It's a high chopper over to Blake, and he's just going to do the underhanded toss to second. And the side is retired. But another run on the board. And it will be now 6-0 heading to the bottom of the ninth. And it looks like McClintock is back on the mound. There is an arm warming in the Babson bullpen. See if they can try and preserve this shutout. And Clark went the first 7. McClintock came in the 8th. It has been a rough afternoon here for the Beaks. No runs on 3 hits. They've made 2 errors. They've had multiple base runners left on base. Total of 7 runners on base, that would be. Beaks have Burris, Corliss, and Zerilli Jr. due up. Looks like they're going to stick with those 3 guys as of right now. We'll see if Burles can get something going here in the bottom of the 9th. He's 0 for 3. Reached on a fielder's choice. And Burris is going to show bunt. He pulls back, but it's a strike here to begin the bottom of the 9th. And he's going to look at a fastball outside. This is the penultimate non-conference game of the season. Beaks have one more against Amherst College on May 3rd. That is high fly ball into right field. Easy play made by Hosdovic. And there's one out in the inning. Craig Corliss, the catcher. He's 1 for 3. He's got a double. He's grounded into a double play, and he's flown out to right. And he looks at strike 1. Again, as mentioned, you're hoping that this offense doesn't continue to struggle once we get to playoff time in about a week and a half. Catch is made by Santos over there at second, and the Beavers are 1 out away from a shutout victory on the road. And Gianni Zerilli Jr. is the last chance. He takes strike 1. Again, Zerilli Jr. just a really rough day in the field. That's ripped out to left field, going back right at the wall, and making the play out and left is Kelly. And the ball game is over, and Babson comes on the road and pitches a 6-0 shutout here at Monin Park. It was a hard hit ball by Zerilli Jr., but unfortunately it was not enough. And the Beavers come to Monin and take a 6-0 win. They hold the Beaks to 3 hits on the day. They got 2 in the first. Basically were shut out up until the 7th. They got 1, 2, and 1 to give themselves the victory. So Ethan Hunt is the losing pitcher for today. What a pitching performance by James Clark. He comes away with the victory, throwing 7+ shutout innings. So a rough day for UMass Boston offensively, but luckily they get to turn things around this tomorrow, actually, we say, as we look at the upcoming schedule for the baseball team. Again, this was a game that was supposed to happen yesterday, but it was postponed and will take place tomorrow at Plymouth State. That's a 3 o'clock start time. Then this Saturday is a doubleheader right here at Monin Park against Rhode Island College. First game will start at noon, and then a couple minutes later will be game number 2. Then it's another conference doubleheader that will take place May 2nd at UMass Dartmouth, followed by a non-conference game at Amherst, and then to wrap up the regular season, a week from Saturday versus Eastern Connecticut State starting at noon. So that will wrap things up here from Monin Park. We'll sign off from our production team. Our producer, as always, Michael Vesky, helping set things up. Malik Lorquette was our director. Camera operators on a beautiful day today, Max Clifford, Jazz Christoph, and Sarah St. Surin. Over on graphics is Gina Albano, and on the replay center was Ali Albano and Georgia Bonnie. So that will wrap things up here from Monin Park. Once again, your final score: the Beavers take it over the Beacons 6-0. I'm Joe Braverman. You have been watching Beacons Baseball here on the Beacons Broadcast Network, presented by LEC